Darryl, I want to take you back to your Morgantown days. You were known as the Assassin, and I think you even had a jacket that said.
I did.
Do you remember who gave you that nickname and where you got the jacket?
Because Jack Tatum was one of my idols, and that's what they was calling him, because he had just started knocking people out, him and Al Atkinson, for the Raiders.
Where'd you pick up that jacket?
The Mountaineer bookstore. Picked it up at the bookstore and actually had everything stenciled on it. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. What? But yes, I did have that.
Did you ever meet Jack Tatum?
I have met him once, and that was very early on in my career.
Did you let him know that he was...
Yes, I did. He and Ted Hendricks both.
You had a chance to reflect, friends, family, about this a little bit from when you heard about this honor, and it means for you. Obviously, it's a long string of them here, but the highest one here, about what this has meant to them, watching you play, and you.
I don't know what it's meant to them, but I can tell you it's meant the world to me to play in front of them and to have them follow me throughout my career. I mean, I've had my parents and my wife follow me for the longest. I mean, as long as I've been playing, I've been alive really to play this game. And I'm just truly happy that I finally got to, as they say, the summit of what it is in college. And that's what I consider this to be, is what the highest honor you can get. And I'm just very proud of it.
What was it like coming out of WVU? Was there a combine back then? And were you?
Oh yeah, there was a combine. there were 3 combines. Yes, I was invited to all of the combines. Went to all 3 of them. One was in Seattle, one was in Tampa, and the other one was in Indianapolis.
Did you play in any All-Star games like East, West, or Blue?
Coach Nehlen told me to pick out one All-Star game, and play in it and play well in it. So I chose the Hula Bowl, and I went to Hawaii, and I played well out there. They tried to get me to come play in a North-South game, but I said no, because I was doing what my coach told me to do. He said, pick one, play well in it, and you don't have to play in another one. So I took the one in Hawaii and played in it. Later on, guys would tell me they wanted to get me in the Senior Bowl to see how I played with the other guys that were the same ilk as myself. So, and I just said, look, my coach told me to pick one, play in one, play well in it, and let the chips fall where they may.
I remember at WVU you were a confident guy, but did you have any doubts, or were you confident that you would be a good pro and maybe reach the level that you reached?
I didn't know that I would reach the level that I reached, but as far as somebody being confident in himself and their skill set, yes, I was very confident in my skill set and myself. I knew I could do a lot of different things. I did more things on the field than most guys playing my position, because instead of playing my position, I played all the other positions on the defensive side of the ball except for one, and that was free safety. So yes, I'd played nose guard, defensive tackle, outside linebacker, defensive end, inside linebacker, outside linebacker, corner, and I lined up at safety. So yes, I knew I had a unique skill set, and I knew I had confidence in myself when it came time to actually performing and running, because I told a few coaches that.
Darryl, what's your thoughts of Morgantown today? It's a little different place than when you were here.
Oh, it's a whole lot different place. It looks like night and day. I mean, when we were here, there weren't any of the grand things that you see now. We were actually playing in the snake pit, where the fans could actually reach over and touch you on top of your head. Our weight room was underneath the bridge, so you walked outside out of the weight room, and all you seen was the field or that little area in downtown Morgantown. So the way that the university's grown and the new things that have come about has been truly great. So I'm happy for these guys to get to play in this.
Did you realize at the time how versatile you were, how many different ways they were using you? Because at the time that was kind of unique. There weren't a lot of those hybrid type players.
I really didn't care. My biggest thing was I wanted to win. And whatever it took to win, I was willing to do. Or if they wanted me to line up and play free safety that down or defensive end that down, I was going to do it if it was going to give us a chance to win. And that's basically the mindset of a lot of the guys that are on our team. That's the way we approached it. We wanted to play. We wanted to win. We wanted to prove to people that we could play with the big boys in the East. And if you really think back to my college playing career, you had 2 national championships coming out of Independent East, and that was Penn State and Pitt. They had won them in back-to-back years, so we had a lot of competition to play against, and that's really what I think helped me more so than anything, is when I got to the next level, I looked at the guys and I said, oh, I played against him already. I already know how to play him. I played against him already. I didn't have that, how would you say, fear factor that a lot of young guys have when they go in, because I had played against the guys. I was smaller than them at the time. And to steal one of Coach Nehlen's lines, I had to lift weights and get stronger. And once I did that, then those guys became my peers, and then some I got even better than. So that's the way I looked at that.
What was the turning point for you? I know Dawn tells a story about the picture of you sleeping on the bench when you were a young player. What transformed you from that to what you became? What was the turning point?
Opportunity to play and being put on the field. I went from sleeping on the field to being a consensus All-American to playing in 4 Super Bowls. Yes, I did do that.
What happened between then?
I woke up. I woke up and actually started to work on my craft and do the things that were conducive for me to win. I mean, I actually lifted weights, which, trust me, my dad told me, I still remember this when I was a kid. Son, why are you lifting them iron balls? That ain't gonna do you no good. And I said, oh, okay, well, we'll find out. So lifting the iron balls helped me get to the point to whereas I could actually compete and sort of dominate some of the guys that I played against.
When we spoke yesterday, you kind of glossed over a story about when you came here, they wanted you to play a different position, and a very famous coach wanted that change. Could you tell that story for us?
We were here, and I was here in school. My first year, I got redshirted, and that off season or that spring, Nick Saban came up to me and told me, he said, Darryl, I want you to play safety. I looked at him, I went, I'm not no safety. I don't want to play safety. I'm not doing all that running. That was me. That was my mindset and my thought. And I told him, I said, Coach, I'm not a DB. I'm not a safety. I'm a linebacker. And here it was that I was only 6'1", probably 170 pounds, 146 pounds. And, yeah, it would have been a great spot for me to play, but I was just dogged determined that I was a linebacker, not a DB. And he let me go ahead, and he stayed on me that whole time. When we would go through winter conditioning, he would say, look, Talley, you're not working. I said, I am, Coach, I'm beating him. He said, you ain't working, no. So, yes, he got on me and gave me a little bit of inspiration to be better at what I was doing, or not just try and beat the guy I was running against, but actually to work on what I had to do.
Didn't Nick coach the safeties? Probably wanted you.
He was a defensive back coach. He coached the safeties and corners.
There you go. He wanted you.
Did you always knew you were going to be a defensive player?
Oh, I hated getting hit. That's why I let my brother play offense. I was not doing that. I was not getting hit. I'd much rather hit you than get hit, because I figure I'm in control when I'm hitting you. Everybody else says, well, I get more glory when I score on you. Yeah, okay, but I'm going to get more glory out of knocking you out in the middle of next week. So that was the way I approached it. I did not want to get hit. I'd much rather be the hitter than the hittee.
Your Pitt game is the game you're associated with. And it's 39 years to the day today when you showed.
39 days.
39 years. What are some of your memories of that game?
Some of my memories of that game is I did everything in the game that I could possibly do in order to win it. Before the game, I told my old man on the phone, I talked to him on the phone that week, and I told him, I said, Pop, they're going to put me on national TV. I'm going to be on national TV. He said, yeah, and what you going to do? I said, I'm going to show my butt on national TV. They put me on national TV, I'm going to show my butt. And he said, well, don't tell me what you're going to do, son. Go show me what you're going to do. And I never thought any more about it until the game day came. And game day came around, and they blew the whistle. Out we went to play. And I had been trying to beat my arch nemesis, Dan Marino, for 3 years prior, and I had done everything I could do on the field to try and beat him, so I had one more shot at it. And at that point in time, I was bound and determined to do it. And we just played. And the way the game just unfolded that way, all I remember was I ran after everybody I could find. Anybody I could hit, I hit. Whatever I could do during that game, I tried to do. And I just left it all out there on the field.
Darryl, what are some of your reflections on Coach Nehlen? Personal reflections or anything you want to tell us that maybe we haven't heard before?
I don't know if you guys have heard it. I've told a couple people about it, but I was recruited by Frank Signetti, and then he got sick, and then they brought in Coach Nehlen. Well, we were in Towers, and, here comes this new coach. We're sitting there. We're all sitting there. All of the guys from Ohio were doing what we usually do, sitting together, talking a bunch of garbage. And he comes in, and right away, he kicks Frank Kinsel's feet off the chair. Frank was sitting there with his feet up in the chair. And he says, we're not going to have that. I'm looking. Then he comes in, he tells us, all right, I don't care what you guys think. You're my guys now. No matter what, you're my guys. We're going to win. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know this man from Ace from Apple Butter. How am I going to believe? Okay, so I'm listening. Listen to the things he told us. We did what he asked. And we started to listen and started to believe in some of the things that he said. But when he told us we were his guys, and I'm going to myself, I grew up in Cleveland. They ain't going to give you something for nothing. And I knew that. Because my old man said, if somebody gives you something, son, they're going to always want something in return. So I was like, okay, well, what does he want? And then I started listening to him, started believing in some of the things he was saying. I listened to the part where he told me I had to get stronger, and I did that. And as an end result, we started to look around and we started seeing the things that he was saying come to fruition. So once they started to come to fruition, we just kept believing and kept doing the next right thing. And that's essentially the way it started. But yeah, when he got here, it was different because we had all had Coach Signetti, the 77, 78, and 79 class were the 3 years that I think actually turned West Virginia University around. And those guys, we all put it on the line for each other, and we did what we had to do for each other. It was some scarce times back then. It was a lot of fun. I've got great friends from that. We still talk today. We're still on the group text today, so yes.
What goes through your mind these days when you're watching a game, how different defensive play is, whether it be some of the rules and tempo?
Some of the rules I get that we had to do something to change the game because of some of the issues that guys at the next level are facing. Not that the guys in college don't face those same issues, but they had to do something to change it. Yes, I'm a little bit more of a physical type guy. I want to be physical with my guy. I don't want him to be getting free releases and running down the field scot-free, not touched. And that's the hardest part I have with it, is that some guys don't use the 5 yards that they have in which to take a shot, sit down, make that guy stutter, make him chop his feet, make the quarterback think. I think we need to get back to doing that a little bit more. But as far as for the way they changed the game, I think they did it for the betterment of it, and it'll help a lot of the guys out probably going down the road as far as the head injuries and stuff like that. But when they did that, they also opened up Pandora's box for guys getting their knees hurt, because you went from having a whole upper body to hit to having very little space to hit. And if you try running and a guy's running at you and he ducks his head at that point in time, you're not gonna be able to help it but to have a head-on collision or to hitting in an uncompromising spot. So, there's a lot that's going on with that.
Describe the partnership you kind of had with tennis folks and
The partnership?
yeah, Mr. Outside, Mr. Inside.
Oh, there's no partnership. That's just the brotherly love that I've had for a long time. True story. And I just looked at him and I got mad. It's all outdoors. 1978, we got beat by Oklahoma by 52 points. 52 or by 42 points. My dad reminded me of that. We go to play Oklahoma in 1982. I happened to be sick with 101, 102 degree temperature. I didn't think I was going to play, but I still lined up and went out and played. I'm out there playing, doing the best I can at that particular time. I get to the sidelines to a berating by this Mr. Number 50. And he told me, he says, I don't know who you are. Who the hell are you? I ain't never, where's Darryl at? You gonna play? Are you gonna do anything today? And he just rode me. And I was like, I'm out here playing with a temperature. I'm sick as a dog. I hurt. All right, F you, I'm coming now. And from that point forward, I went out there and I dove over in the pile. I gave up my body for everything I could do. Anything I could do, I did. And I got tired in the game, and they brought Eddie Hughes in the game. And that's his favorite saying. No shoes, Hughes. He came in the game playing outside linebacker, running against the wishbone. He steps up, he gets hit, he gets knocked out of his shoes. He's laying on the floor going, where my shoes at? Where my shoes at? The referee comes over, son, we have your shoes. And that started with Dennis. Dennis did that. And he just never let you live anything down. If there was anybody that would be able to poke the bear and get away with it, that's him. He poked the bear. And then he had another thing that he would do to people that I used to laugh at, because I used to laugh at the offensive guards. You think a guy 290 pounds, 280, 3-something, they're going to do pretty good against a 245, 250-pound linebacker. Not when he's knocking them out with a forearm. Yes, I said a forearm. I mean, I've seen him hit people with less than 3 yards in between them, and all you heard was, and they just roll over, just like he'd been shot. So yeah, that was, for me, to see that just excited me. That made me want to hit somebody. That made me want to run and catch somebody to hit. I mean, because he used to tell people, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make you take isolation out of spring ball. And believe it or not, they took isolation out of spring ball. Ask Ron Wolfley, Big Eddie, ask Bowman. You can ask any of them. They'll tell you, yeah, we took isolation out. Isolation wasn't no fun for them. So yeah, that has been perhaps one of the biggest thorns in my back, pains in my ass that I love to death, that really, really inspired me the way he played. And he wasn't going to let you quit. And that was the other thing that I loved about it. So yeah, we could be, how do you want to say, the odd couple? But nah, we were much the same. Just somebody that just wanted to knock the other guy's head off and really, really look forward to it.
Just sitting here speaking with you, you wouldn't think that you would have the mindset to be such a terror on the field. How did you prepare yourself to get really lathered up to play football the way you did?
When I was in college, I didn't really get too excited. Once I got to the next level, I started to realize that my enthusiasm and the way I played actually got to be better the more outgoing I let myself get. In college, I was just trying to catch as many people as I could catch and hit as many people as I could hit. Just trying to beat Dennis to the tackle. That was it. That's about the only way I could answer that, I think. I just really wanted to go after people. At the next level, I learned that I was a better leader than what I had previously thought, because I got guys to buy into my way or our way of playing football for each other, and not just out there holding a uniform, just being in a spot, and playing for a guy and caring about them and wanting to know the best thing for them. So I took that from here to Buffalo with me. And I just so happened to run into a group of guys that had the same type of feeling. Our quarterback was one. Jim Kelly was that way. And, you know, we just wanted to include everybody and have everybody around us be a part of the program. And everybody knew that they were special. You know, we say we're special. We're special in all kind of ways. So, yes, we used to tease each other a lot about that. So, but that's it.